So we did the sirloin steaks for the keg, and we got a food cost on them and figured out the best way to cost out their choice of sides. But one of the keg's best-selling items has got to be their prime rib. However, the prime rib requires a different step in the FoodCostChef Calculator for costing it out properly. Watch this. If we look at the steak recipe, that is raw meat going into the recipe. The customer sees 6 ounces on the menu, but that is raw weight. With the prime rib, it says 10 ounces, which is the cooked weight. The customer expects and deserves a 10-ounce portion. So we need a base recipe that accounts for cooked weight. So let's input our whole ribeye boneless AAA. A 30 kg case is 4 full roast, and the cost per kilogram is $38.49. It doesn't matter the variance of the size of the roast. We only need the cost per kg here. I will put a 98% yield here, but that's not the cooking yield. Consider that the handling and loss yield over the year. Okay, the ingredient is in. Now onto our roast prime rib beef base recipe. Adding the raw ribeye, Montreal steak spice, and a little oil to help the seasoning stick to the meat. That's it. Now, at an 80% yield, that will give us 12 kilograms of cooked product. Now, in the cost panel, we know our real cost per kilogram. Now, let's put this all together on a plate to represent the exact menu item. New plate, keg, 10-ounce prime rib. Add 10 ounces of roast prime rib, choice of salad, choice of side. This one gets some onions too, and some jus, except that I don't have a jus costed out, so I'll just put gravy in there temporarily and a little parsley garnish, and now we have our cost. The retail price is $56, so that comes out to 31% food cost and a whopping $38 in gross profit or contribution margin. We can see the sirloin and the prime rib next to each other in the plate summary. Now, even though the prime rib has a higher food cost, the contribution margin is $10 more than the sirloin steak. That's significant. Now, I will say the 80% yield is probably too good to be true if the kitchen or your kitchen is using a conventional oven, like a reach-in Wolf or Garland range oven. If you're cooking your prime ribs in that, you're probably going to be closer to something like 75% cooked weight, or let's say 11.25 kilograms. That brings the food cost to 32.6%. On the other hand, if your place has a combi oven and you can slow cook and hold these roasts overnight, that boosts the yield to 12.3 kilograms, and our food cost drops to 30%, which increases the gross profit even more to $39. By the way, with that kind of precision food costing, you can actually math out how long it would take you to pay for the purchase of a combi oven based only on a single product like this. Okay, that's one more keg menu item knocked down. This one was slightly different, but I hope that helps you understand how to handle cooking yields in the FoodCostChef Calculator. Chefs, thanks for watching. And remember, it's only good food if the math works.